Hello everybody, welcome back to a very somber episode of Guapish Rule 34. Today, I am being joined by special guest, Matpat.
Hello.
I'm sorry, it seems like we're having a bit of audio trouble with him today. We'll try and fix that, but for now, I'll go ahead and welcome our first guest, Tanner.
That's right, guys. I'm here and I'm not queer, but that's just a theory.
And we've got our biggest Matpat stan, Jackson.
I literally burst into tears while watching the Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
And coming against Matpat here, actually, we have Dylan, Markiplier's biggest stan.
I don't think that's against Matpat. I'm pretty sure they're friends, but okay.
Somebody has not been keeping up to date on the mad Matpat x Markiplier beef. So, guys, it's coming to an end. Unfortunately, a big part of our childhood is ending this week, or it's next week. I don't remember which one exactly it is. It's early March. Matpat, he's going away. And it's not just a theory this time, guys. He's gone forever now.
He's dying?
Yes, he's dying. He's going to be committing Sudoku live on air.
Sudoku?
Oh. Yeah.
Crazy.
Unfortunate. I thought we talked about this many weeks ago.
We never talked about it on the channel. We just had messaged each other in the group chat before.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
Yeah.
So what new information about this do you have to bring to us today?
There's no new information. It's just actually ending now. And so I want to talk about it so it's topical and I can put it in the thumbnail and everything, okay?
Okay.
That's the important thing here. As far as actual topical news goes, though, guys, did you see the big announcement for Pokemon Legends ZA?
Oh, hell yeah, brother. I am excited to see what they got going on, because I've seen a lot of hypothesized thought on this game, and I don't know, it's a cool concept. I hope given the title, it'll be closer akin to Legends Arceus, which I thought was a pretty good game.
I'd assume it will be.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see their retake on the Kalos region, which I feel out of all the Pokemon games I played lacked in a lot of areas.
That's pretty unanimously the worst generation. The most recent one might kind of take the cake. We'll see how history sort of fares upon it in the future here. But yeah, generally speaking, Gen 6 is the one that people look at the least fondly.
I didn't even know Greninja was from that generation. I think that generation...
Where'd you think he was from?
I didn't know. That was apparently the most forgettable Pokemon generation, at least for me, but I also didn't play it till last year, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, you played it pretty recently here, so I figured it would have stuck out in your mind a little more.
I don't remember a lot of the Pokemon in it, and when I was playing it, I was like, the one praise I will give the Kalos region is it did have more variation than some of the newer games, outside of Pokemon Black and White, because that one had a ton.
And it also just gave you a Lucario.
I don't know if I used Lucario.
Bummer.
I can't remember.
They give you Lucario as part of the story with his fucking Mega Crystal or whatever.
Yeah, well, did I end up... Maybe I did use Lucario. I don't know in what world I wouldn't use Lucario, so that's actually probably wrong.
Yeah, that seems very shocking to me.
Well, listen, dude, whenever I play a Pokemon game, you bring up the fact that Dylan can't not have a Lucario in his team. Every time I see a Riolu or a Lucario wandering around, I hear your voice, and I'm like, I'm not gonna succumb to the Lucario fever. I'm gonna play and beat this game without it. Cause otherwise Nico will be disappointed, as if that actually matters.
I'm not gonna have my blue dog husbando on my squad this time around.
Listen, dude, that's not what I'm thinking.
What do you guys talk? Gen 6 has so many classics, man. We got Sylveon?
I think I had... Was that the butterfly one?
No, that's the evolution.
Fucking retarded?
Oh, Sylveon, goddammit. Fuck, dude.
Got Halucha? Remember that one?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the grass starter's final evolution. I've never seen this motherfucker in my life.
You won't have. I mean, if we did my idea today, you would have, but
Holy shit, Nico, his was topical too, you piece of shit.
He said it wasn't topical.
No, you said yours
doesn't know what topical means.
No, you said yours was topical, and I didn't know you were going to bring this up. So...
You're telling me you guys don't remember Avalugg?
I mean, Avalugg is actually pretty prominent. They brought it back in Legends Arceus and gave it a new type designation in 4.
He does suck ass, though.
Yeah. I will... Wait, so Sylveon originated from Gen 6?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh. No, dude, Sylveon fucking slaps. I use Sylveon in almost all of my plays because Sylveon's
Dude,
like
I
the
want
ultimate
to
Dragon
fucking
Slayer.
slap her. Dude,
Okay.
Aegislash is from Gen 6. Come on, guys.
Tanner, you're pretty much just naming nothing but bangers right now. What are you
You're
doing,
right.
man?
I swear Aegislash was from Sword and Shield because that only made sense.
Greninja is really the only starter from Gen 6 that has any acclaim.
I mean, you got the Fox Wizard thing, but everybody only remembers the second form. They don't know that there's a third form.
People only talk about Braixen.
Yeah, that one.
For good reason, too. So, Dylan, what exactly are these, like, theories and stuff like that you've been hearing about Legend ZA?
Yeah, so, because we all know that typically with Pokemon games, they release the initial 2, and then they'll release a third, and the third is like a combination / ultimate, whatever you want to call it, of both of them. And that was still kind of part of the generation where they were doing that. So we got X and Y. People figured there would be a Z, and they never did have one. So they figured that this is just going to be a latecomer to that generational trio. So I guess we'll see. I don't, from the looks of it, it's hard to say anything at this point. It looks like it's just going to happen in Lumio City, which, unless it's just going to be massive, I don't know how that's going to work. But it looks like they're combining aspects of Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet, which hopefully they learned their lesson from Scarlet and Violet and improve upon it, because we all don't need that again.
Yeah, I mean, like... So, allegedly, there were a lot of plans to, like, actually do a Pokemon Z, but those ended up falling through because that generation didn't sell particularly well. And, like, you know, as a result, they were like, okay, well, all the Zygarde shit that we were planning on, we're just gonna kind of push that back. We're gonna put all that into Sun and Moon instead now. That's why Zygarde is, for some reason, very prominent in Sun and Moon.
Isn't he an Ultra Beast?
No.
Oh, see, that's why I figured the only reason he was in that game is because he was an Ultra Beast, which also is another realm of Pokemon that doesn't necessarily make sense. I think you tried explaining Ultra Beasts to me at one point.
I mean, they're just Pokemon from an alternate dimension.
I thought they were legendary Pokemon from another dimension that were just regular Pokemon.
No, they're actually just regular Pokemon from there.
That's fucking crazy. They're considered legendaries in our universe. That's insane.
Because they're that strong!
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. I wish I could... I don't think I have very many of those. That's unfortunate.
What exactly is the point of being like, oh, by the way, there's alternate dimensions with different Pokemon in them?
It's pretty neat, dude.
You do have a Pokemon that is literally like the Pokemon of dimensions, so that I figured
but,
that
like,
might have...
Why introduce the concept of alternate dimensions if you have different Pokemon in each region anyway?
Well, because, like, you know, the Ultra Beasts look really wacky. It's like, whoa, look at what fucked up shit came from there.
I think
I
it was a
guess
fad.
so. That's just it. They're like, we wanted to make really fucked up looking Pokemon, so we'll just say they're from alternate dimensions. I guess it's worked because it seems like people just kind of accept that logic. So
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't done
Whatever, I
it since,
guess.
so it was kind of just a spark in the pan kind of thing, and then they're like, all right, we got our fun. We're gonna move on now.
yeah, how many games have there been Ultra Beasts in?
Just
one.
that one region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's, you know...
Are there lore reasons for that?
Well, yeah, because that's where, like, the fucking, like, ultra wormholes or whatever were opened up by the evil organization there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, no one else has
the-
tried to find them, I guess, or whatever.
On the laid-back chill island of Hawaii.
A little question here for you guys. I want to pose a little thought experiment for you. Now, as was established in Pokemon Legends Arceus, they introduced some new evolutions for 3 starter Pokemon. And so, they're also, like, bringing back Mega Evolution in these new games as well. So I want to ask you guys, which are the 3 starters you feel like they're going to end up putting into this new Legends game?
I mean, wouldn't it just be the 3 starters from the game?
No, because they didn't do that in the last one, Dylan.
I know they wouldn't, but, like, if it's in the Kalos region and it's from Generation 6, I feel like they would just use the same starters. Unless
No, I don't.
maybe...
As they established in Legends Arceus, as I set this whole question up with, Dylan, they established in Legends Arceus that they're not doing that. So, if they're not doing that, which are the 3 starters you think they'll be choosing instead?
I mean,
I
what
need
are
to
3...
look up what all the starter Pokemon are. Hold on a second.
I feel like, so just to, like, help you out a little bit here, I feel like there are a few ground rules that are pretty easy to set up here. Like, just right off the bat. So, I don't think they're going to be doing like the 3 starters from the Kalos region, since they didn't do that for Legends Arceus. I also don't think they're going to be choosing the same starters from Legends Arceus either. So, like, we can wipe them out too. That's 6 starters right off the bat we aren't including here, okay?
They could include Greninja. Greninja was quite popular.
I don't think they're going to, though. So...
I imagine it will be ones that don't already have Mega Evolutions.
That's also something else I was going to mention. That would immediately exclude all of the Gen 1 Pokemon and Gen 3 as well. So
yeah, I'm thinking Litten, Incineroar, basically.
That's what I'm thinking as well.
For the fire type.
Fucking Mega Incineroar is going to be fucking insane, though.
Yeah.
Because Incineroar is already kind of a beast in the competitive scene. Giving him a Mega on top of that is going to cause some problems, I think.
Does Nintendo care?
They don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, okay. So.
But, also, what other fire type is more popular than Incineroar outside of Charizard and Cyndaquil or Typhlosion, I guess?
Well, isn't Typhlosion an option?
No, Typhlosion was from Legends Arceus.
Okay, wait. I guess just so I can participate, what were the starters in Legends Arceus?
Rowlet, fucking Cyndaquil, and then that one bitch, Oshawott.
My favorite, one of my favorite water type starters.
I mean, let's start with our grass options. So our grass options are Chikorita, Turtwig, Snivy, Chespin.
Not Chespin. He's
Definitely
Gen 6.
Not. He's Gen 6.
Huh? Oh, we're saying it's not going to be any of the 6s?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think having a Gigantamax form will eliminate them?
I don't think so, no.
Okay, so Grookey and Sprigatito.
Sprigatito. I mean, it could be Sprigatito, but I think she's too new. I don't think they're going to do anything too new. Am
I incorrect in saying Turtwig is probably the most popular of these options?
I do think that Turtwig is probably the most popular. I'm kind of leaning towards Snivy, though. I'm kind of thinking Snivy would make sense.
I mean, yeah, I do really like Gen 5. Gen 5 was amazing. I
could see them going like a cool, Jormungandr route with a Snivy Mega Evolution.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, because, another big thing about Gen 6 is it's based off of France, and Snivy does pull inspiration from, the French nobility, so I feel like it would make sense to include Snivy as part of those starters.
I guess we could just play it safe and say Snivy then. That makes the most... I don't want it to be Snivy, but I feel like Snivy's the best answer. I don't mind Snivy. I just, out of all the starters, of that generation, I chose Oshawott, and my second choice was Tepig. Snivy was my last choice, so...
I think Snivy could be cool. I probably do prefer Turtwig just because I like big, beefy Pokemon, so... And I think a Mega Evolution of Torterra just has such an obvious route to go where it's, he's holding up the entire fucking planet on his back or whatever the fuck.
No, that'd be like a Gigantamax. But I like your thinking.
Okay, so our fire options are Cyndaquil.
It has to be. It can't be Cyndaquil.
Not Cyndaquil? Why not?
He was on Legends Arceus.
Right.
Dude, it's gonna be Incineroar.
So it's Chimchar, Tepig, Litten, and Scorbunny. Yeah.
Scorbunny.
Yeah, Scorbunny.
See, that's hard, because all
and Fuecoco.
All the fire, except Fuecoco, all the fire starters are super popular. But, it can't not be Incineroar. And I also don't think they're going to choose 2 starters from the same generation, so I don't think it's going to be Tepig, if it's going to be Snivy.
I think it also makes sense that they wouldn't choose from the same generation as well. Yeah, I'm definitely leaning more towards Litten as well. I could see them going with fucking Monkey Boy as well, but,
Yeah, Chimchar, Mega Evolution Infernape would also be bonkers, I think. But...
Okay.
Yeah, it could lean more into his inspiration of, Sun Wukong or whatever. That could be pretty freaking sweet.
That's exactly what I was seeing in my mind, dude. That was... Yeah. Hell yeah.
That'd be pretty neat. Okay.
Jackson, which water starter do you think they'll choose?
Dude, I think it's going to be,
Do you want to hear your options, Jackson?
It's going to be, the fucking weird one.
The weird one? What do you mean?
So, Jackson, your options are Totodile, Piplup, Oshawott.
No, it can't be Oshawott.
Why can't it be Oshawott?
It's Arceus.
Also in Arceus.
Oh, I keep forgetting that shit.
It's okay.
And Poplio, then?
That one, the weird one.
I could see...
That would be baffling if they went for that one.
I don't really think anyone likes Poplio, so that'd be a very fun choice if they end up going for it.
You know, obviously, Totodile is my heart, my love, my one true Pokemon starter, but I can't see them not going with Piplup.
To be honest, I actually see them using the duck from Scarlet and Violet. I know we said nothing new. Listen, out of all the starters from Scarlet and Violet, in my opinion, I think the duck turned out to be the best looking. Fuecoco just is and then, you know, whatever the Sprigatito. Everybody wanted that evolutionary line so badly to stay quadrupedal, and Nintendo can't not turn their four-legged friends into two-legged things, so...
Things.
Creatures of some sort.
Yeah,
I think they have more two-legged starters that become four-legged than they have four-legged that stay four-legged.
Yeah, I think Fuecoco's technically counts as one, because Fuecoco technically...
Yeah, Fuecoco becomes four-legged, Oshawott becomes four-legged.
Yeah. It's weird, I don't know why they do that.
It's because it's way cooler, Dylan. I explained it in my Pokemon Starters video. I honestly think, Tanner, I feel like Totodile is pretty reasonable.
I think Totodile's a solid choice. As much as I think...
my hopes up.
As much as I think Mega Evolution Empoleon would look sick, because it's like a fucking steel water type, I think they could do a lot more with Feraligatr. Plus, it's
Mega
like...
Evolution Feraligatr into Godzilla.
That would be... Wait, doesn't Feraligatr have a Mega Evolution? Am I hallucinating that?
He does not.
No, he doesn't. However, I will say, again, going with the French sort of theme here, Empoleon is like, you know, his name is based off of Napoleon.
Fuck, dude.
So I could definitely see them going with
It's too obvious. No, that's too obvious for Nintendo. They never do logical shit like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know, man. So, okay,
However, I will say, I would prefer to be Totodile, because I feel, obviously, as I've said, the Gen 2 starters are the weakest, in my opinion, all across the board, and so it would just make sense for them to go with him, to, like, you know, hopefully make him better.
Because
make him cool.
Totodile, Torchic, and Trico, right?
Oh, what? No, Mudkip, Trico, and Torchic.
Mudkip and... Yeah, my bad.
They're the best ones, Dylan.
Oh, yeah. I do like Trico a lot. Trico's... Wait, why was Trico not in your list of... Was your... Never mind. Yeah, Trico's solid. I love... Oh, but... Yeah, never mind. Sceptile has a Mega Evolution.
Yeah. Yeah, all the Gen 3s do. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Whatever we said previously, those are the three starters who are getting chosen.
We settled on Snivy,
Litten,
and Totodile, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
You heard it here
And if
first.
we're wrong, we didn't say that. This episode never happened.
We'll go back and delete it. Set it for a scheduled delete the day after the game comes out.
Nah, they'll announce what they are sooner than the release date.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, that's what they did previously, so maybe they'll do it again. Either way, though, we'll absolutely end up getting, like, all the fucking Pokemon out leaked, like, weeks beforehand, like we always do.
I'm not gonna pay attention to any of that, so I'm wondering what they're gonna do, because like I said, the whole Pokedex of Kalos was kind of weak. I didn't really particularly enjoy any of the Pokemon. I also kind of had a cheat start to my game.
I feel like there's some bangers in there. I think a big part that makes it suffer, though, is it's the smallest Pokédex, so you don't have as many choices to hopefully find one that you really like.
How many was it? Was it only 150? 100?
What? No, it's only like 60 or something like that.
Damn, I wasn't paying attention. I literally just wanted to get through that game. I bought that game pre-owned. Their save was still on the game. I just transferred their Pokemon to Pokemon Home and then used them. So I had all the starters. I had all their starters, and I had, like, duplicates of legendaries and all that. Oh, dude, it was awesome. Shout out to that guy.
Alright, so guys, in other recent news, Gemini has pulled their ability to create images. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Yes,
Dylan, are you familiar with Gemini?
No, I think I tried to attempt to use it at one point because I wanted to get an AI-generated image, and there were none that I could find that I had to pay for.
There were none that you could find that you had to pay for?
It's not how I... Never mind, continue.
That's exactly what you said. That was word for word, Dylan.
That's what I said, but it's not what I meant.
I just want to pay for this image so badly.
So if you guys didn't know, Gemini is Microsoft's big AI. They're hitting the market
You mean
here. Google's big AI. They're hitting the market here. And it has been a dumpster fire since its release. So, it has the ability to create images, as you may know, Dylan. However, it has this weird little attribute to it, you know, where it seems to not be able to create white people at all.
How do you... that seems like an intentional...
Can I explain how it does
go
this
for
to
it.
him? So, someone had a conversation with Gemini and managed to get it to basically leak how its codes work. Like, it explained what it is doing in the code. And so what it does is that if you give it a prompt like, make me an image of founding fathers, it does not then generate that. It will inject words into that prompt, like diversity and stuff like that, and then it will generate off of that modified prompt. So it's literally not responding to what you're saying. It will take what you say, throw some junk into it, and then generate an answer. And so, you know, what we've seen is people are like, make me a picture of the founding fathers, and it's like black people and Indians in like British coats and shit. Even to the extent that, like, there's an example floating around where someone said, make me Nazi soldiers from World War II, and it made, like, Mexicans and Indian people in Nazi SS uniforms.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
It's pretty sweet, man.
I've also seen, I saw on a podcast they were screwing around with it, and it will just, with very little prompting, it will just make blatantly false information.
Yeah.
Like, I watched the guy literally go, what did this person do at this, like, riot or whatever? And, like, factually speaking, this person was not at the riot, but then Google will just be like, according to sources, they fucking beat up a cop or something like that, you know? Like, it will just, with very little pushing, it will just make blatantly false information.
Allegedly, from what I've seen as well, like, it doesn't stop at just, like, it won't create white people. It won't create white objects either. Like, I saw people saying things like, make me a white car, and it's like, okay, here's a red one, and shit like that instead.
That's fucking funny.
This... You don't just unintentionally have a AI bot do this. Somebody intentionally coded this thing
this
to
is
do
all
this.
very intentional.
Well, my big question here is, how did they... Like, obviously, they wanted to, like, allow it to, like, you know, create, like, more diverse sets of people and stuff like that. But how did they not notice, like, oh, it just doesn't create white people at all? Or did they just not care about that?
I imagine they didn't care.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they were going for one thing and they got the extreme. They're like, well, we're here and it doesn't really matter to us. This is kind of what we wanted, so we're not gonna fix it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really fucking weird. We have like it's the same thing with like ChatGPT and all this other stuff where they're really trying to like, you know, they're trying to curb what people are really able to do with these AI models and shit like that. Like what sort of information it'll give you. Like every single fucking time you tell it like anything, like I want a recipe for some donuts or some shit. It'll give you like, you know, okay, here's your recipe, and then oh, by the way, here's several paragraphs of why you should eat donuts in moderation. Like, you know, they're kind of bad for you. Some parts of them have been known to cause cancer, all this other shit. It's like, why are you doing this to me? Just give me the information I want. What the fuck is wrong with you? Mm-hmm. It's really annoying. It's like obviously I do think that like probably like some sort of like restrictions and stuff like that should be placed on AI, but at the same time they're going way overboard, and it's like the genie is already out of the bottle, okay? You don't have to restrict this so much. If I want to make an image of Shaquille O'Neal eating a Big Mac, why can't I do that?
Right, yeah. Yeah, they're putting on too many guardrails, but they're guardrails that don't really stop any bad things from happening and just kind of make the information you do end up getting largely worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like at the same time, people are going to always find like exploits around this sort of stuff, or they're just gonna like, you know, they're just gonna find ways to remove the restrictions that you imposed on these AIs in general. So like, I just think that we're too far gone already for them to really be worrying that much about this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I will say, this does kind of make me less worried about like the AI takeover, because it is going to be so hamstrung by the kinds of companies that are making this technology that I don't know if it will actually reach a level of usefulness that lets it have a significant impact on human existence.
Well, yeah, especially if you're just allowing random people to feed information, like, because it takes all the information we give it and just apply it. You got dumb people asking dumbass questions to an AI that doesn't matter, and then this AI is just getting a bunch of useless knowledge that it then just shares with other people, which is the useless knowledge we're getting. So yeah, I agree, like, AI take over, like, because I think that's something everybody worried about for a while, but, like, you just overload a system with stupidity, and then it takes a second to catch up and reboot or whatever.
Yeah, to that point, a lot of, like, where AI is getting information from, like, the most recent models is it just skims the internet. But we have filled the internet with so much dog shit that it is making it difficult for AIs to actually, present useful information. Obviously, when it's, like, simple asks, like, you know, a recipe or whatever, yeah, it can still do that. But, like, if you're trying to get, like, complex information about, like, real world events, it starts falling apart. And then, like, the route they're gonna have to take to fix that is by, like, specifying to the AI, hey, these are, like, trusted sources of information, but we don't have trusted sources of information anymore, you know, so...
Yeah, I was about to say, because you have such differing opinions on the internet, whether it be news sources or just people who write blogs on the same shit. So you could scour, like, this AI could scour the internet for all key terms that you are looking for, and then it's just going to be confused because it has 15 different, like, viewpoints of the same topic, and then it doesn't know what to give you. So it kind of tries to give it to you in a concise, coercive, you know, method, and then just doesn't make sense on the back end.
Like, hypothetically, I don't know if AI is going to be that much better at presenting you with truthful information than you would be seeking it out on your own.
Yeah.
Jackson, how's the Final Fantasy 14 grind going there?
That's a random ass segue. Dude, it's going absolutely splendid. I'm like playing this shit like 30 hours a week minimum.
God,
I'm like 150 hours into this game, and I've been playing it for like a month.
God. Jackson, should I get into Final Fantasy 14?
If you want to, I think it's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. I think the combat's fun. I think it has a remarkable amount of gameplay.
What is the style of combat, if I may ask?
MMO.
It's tap target. I mean, there's MMOs that have action combat systems, like fucking Black Desert Online, Terra, all that stuff, but it's tap target.
Yeah, I just assumed that all Final Fantasy games were turn-based strategy because that's the only one I've ever played. So
it's not turn-based strategy. It's tap target. So you basically have to move around your characters. So specifically, I guess I'm just gonna describe like boss fights and stuff because those are the ones that normally have mechanics. There are like open world things that have mechanics where they have like, you know, the little area marker that shows up where they're gonna attack or something. You have to move out of the way. But yeah, you gotta move to dodge mechanics and stuff. There's a bunch of different types of mechanics you have to do. Like some of them make you group up with your teammates. Some of them make you spread out. That type of thing. And yeah, obviously you have skills that you specifically have targeting towards one thing. Most of them are like range based. If you're like a caster, you'll have cast times. Like I'm a black mage. That's my current class, and a lot of the skills I'd use take like, I don't know, a couple of seconds to actually like cast and send up. But it balances out because they do a lot of damage. But you're not as like mobile as, you know, a fucking ninja or something that's running around and doing all sorts of crazy shit.
Now, I may be asking the wrong person here, but Jackson, what do you think is the minimum time dedication you need to this game?
As much as you want. It really doesn't matter. The big thing with this game is that it's not one of these... It's a lot more casual of an MMO than something like WoW, which I'm a big fan of. Like, a lot of people that play MMOs, they kind of just go to the assumption that they just want to power level themselves up to max so they can just spam do raids over and over again. That's really not what Final Fantasy XIV is about. It's definitely pretty far into the realm of it's more about the journey rather than the end. Specifically because people love the fucking story. I'm into it too. I just have recently finished the first expansion of it, and I'm a big fan of it. I'm really engaged. This is definitely probably the most engaging storyline I've ever followed in a game, to be honest. I haven't really played that many like story-based games though, so it's really not saying much.
Genshin Impact.
Yeah, Genshin's another one. I think this game's story is a lot better written. The game is crazy with how many fucking likable characters it makes. Like, it's pretty easy to get attached to a lot of characters, especially like fucking Heaven's Door. Holy shit. I've got so many fucking characters I'm a big fan of in that game. Einstein, Horschfont, Amarik, they're all fucking sweet. Big fan of all the guys in Ishgard. Love my homies in Ishgard.
Sephiroth, Cid, all fantastic characters.
Yeah, no, I think it's compelling. I think the gameplay's fun. I think the storyline's good to do. You know, there's a ton of repeatable content. It's an MMO, so there's a bunch of shit you can do with people. Plus, it's really nice for it kind of balances out in this regard. There's a level syncing system, so like if you're doing open world content called like Fates, for example, where you like fight like an open world boss or like do some sort of like event, it syncs your level down. So if I'm like a level fucking 90 black mage and we're doing like a level 3 fate, it's gonna sync my level down to like be workable within that fate. So it's not just gonna be a total curb stomp. And they also have that with like dungeons. So if, for example, right, I've actually gotten 2 of my friends into it. I got my fucking brother and I got one of my other online friends into Final Fantasy recently. And like if they're running dungeons or something, I can play with them with like my high level class, but it's just gonna, you know, tone me down all the way to like whatever the recommended level is for that dungeon, so we can actually like play it. It's not going to be like just a cold fucking curb stomp, which I'm a big fan of. Big fan of that. It actually it forces you to actually, you know, not just fucking steamroll.
Is it cross-platform multiplayer?
Yeah.
Let's go. I might just join, dude. You might have just convinced me.
It is free on Xbox after all, so
I just saw
the free trial is like the best thing about it. You can literally play like 100 fucking hours minimum of just doing the first. Yeah.
Is it not free?
It's free. Yeah. There's I mean, I don't know how it works on Xbox. Nico sounds like it's saying it's free.
Yeah, I don't think the expansions are free. I think like the main story might be, but
yeah. So how the free trial works, right, is your max level's 50. You've got some restrictions, like you can't use the market board. You can't you can't invite people to a party. Random shit like that just makes it kind of annoying. You can't like, you know, do like join other data centers or whatever. But you can do the entirety of the base game, which is a shit ton of content still. And that also doesn't stop you from like getting other classes and stuff too, because there's like a job system, which I think is probably the coolest part of the game. There's a bunch of different classes called jobs, and a single character, you can level up every single fucking job. It's super easy. They make it really easy to swap around between them. So like, I am a black mage, but I've got like 18 other fucking jobs that I can swap to at any time if I want to, and I can level them up independently if I want to. So like, oh yeah, I want to level up a glider, and that's kind of what I've been doing. Like my brother started playing, and he's leveling up a DPS, and I'm like, okay, so let's get some shorter queue times for our dungeon runs. So I'm going to level up a gladiator, and I can be a tank, and I can be like the tanker of the group, and I'm leveling up another class simultaneously that I can swap to, which is fun. It adds a lot more repeatable content, and you can do that for literally every single fucking class you have access to in the base game. So like, oh yeah, I hit level 50, I got nothing else to do, and you can just go and level up all those other classes. So there's even if you're not paying for the game at the end of the free trial, there is no end of it specifically. It just kind of locks you out of doing other stuff. There's still a shit ton to do.
Solid. Yeah, I think I saw a tile on Xbox that says, hey, try the Final Fantasy 14 beta. And I'm like, oh, hey, that's here already. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it just came out recently. The controller support's honestly really solid too. It's super fucking customizable as well. I'm a big fan of it. It's actually pretty impressive.
It just came out on console?
I guess
it's been on PlayStation for a while, but it just came out on Xbox recently.
That's crazy. Isn't this game like 10 years old or some shit?
Oh yeah. Well, they've been optimizing the controller stuff for a while. Okay. It wasn't always controller supported.
Huh.
Gotcha.
Not gonna lie, Jackson, I wasn't expecting this to actually be like a full-on conversation. I just assumed you were playing that this entire time instead of talking.
No, dude, I've actually been working on the website. You guys put that idea into my mind of doing the overall thing, and immediately my fucking programmer brain took over, and it's like, okay, I gotta implement this shit right now, and I did. It's done.
Gotcha.
Let's go. Wait, does that mean
I haven't published it yet.
Damn it. Okay, fine. Fair enough. I'll see it later, I guess.
It'll be after the episode.
Sad face.
Now, Dylan. There's this thing that, like, the other day you came over, we watched a Serbian film and all that stuff.
Oh, good.
And before we actually watched the film itself, you had mentioned to us, guys, I've been in denial about something. I've been deeply in denial, and I'm not going to tell you guys right now, because I want to stay on a public platform where everyone will be able to stare and judge me.
Well, God, when you say it like that, it makes me not want to share it, Nico.
Dylan, we don't care if you're gay.
No, it's not that, Tanner. I'm very much straight. Sorry to break it to you, pal.
Say.
No, so, because we always have, like, the argument of, like, if, like, anime, like, chicks are hot or not, and I always have the thing, like, I mean, they're just animated characters. I don't see the appeal.
Real.
They're not real, and we always had the argument. I remember one specific argument we had on the podcast, and it was like, why would I waste my feelings on something that's not real? And then you guys, I don't remember your guys' argument against that. I'm sure it was something intelligent that I just refuse to remember. I don't know. I think that's the part. I think I'm just in denial on all that. I think that I just
You just don't want to acknowledge that you believe that anime characters are indeed attractive.
Yeah, I didn't want to think I was more like you guys than I thought I was. I know that sounds terrible.
But we're so chill!
I know you guys are, but I figured that kind of stuff was just bad, Like, I try to disassociate myself from that stuff, so I thought if I created a mental denial block, or whatever you want to call it, I thought I'd be in the clear. It just hasn't worked out for me, and I think that denying that part of my life, or whatever you want to call it, is just poor reflection on myself in general.
Dude, did you have like an awakening character for you? Was there like one character you're like, okay, maybe I see what they're talking about here? Or have you like always kind of thought it, but you just didn't want to admit it?
I mean, I never, to be fair, I still don't really, I don't know, I'll say an anime character is pretty attractive, but I don't know if I have an awakening character, to be honest. There's not really one that jumps to mind. And if I did say the answer that initially jumped to my mind, I would immediately be judged. Oh, hey, look, I like her. She's pretty cute.
That was fucking Farina from Genshin was who I thought you were going to say, because I remember when I first pulled it around, and you were like, "Oh yeah, she's really cute," and I was like, "I fucking got him."
It was wait, I will admit, it probably was more prominent when I started playing Genshin.
That's how they get ya.
The Chinese corrupted him.
It is, well, I thought we were going along the gotcha lines, but whatever, man. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'd say it probably became more prominent in my time of playing Genshin Impact. So, yeah, that's probably as far as I want to go with that.
It's okay, Dylan. You can tell us that Mrs. Puff was your sexual awakening. It's chill, dude.
Her husband died and got stuffed. You know that? He got turned into a lamp or a light fixture or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Mrs. Puff has a storied and assorted past, one that the show does not want to delve into too much. All we know for now, though, is that she is definitely a criminal of some sort. And allegedly, she also groomed some of her students. But anyway, speaking of grooming, guys...
Whoa! No, wait, hold on. That's a bad segue. You stop that.
Yeah, that's right, Dylan. It's a bad segue for Guapish at the movies.
Hi-ho, hi-ho,
hi-ho,
off
to work we go.
That song is a banger, though.
It is pretty catchy.
Jackson, what did we watch this week?
Our Patreon request for this week was, in fact, the 2010 film. I thought this was way earlier. A Serbian film, as requested by Loveskin. Also, I'm sorry, I made a grave error last week. Dread Pirate 46, I forgot to shout you out on the episode. I'm sorry, I'm fucking in full dogza right now that I forgot to say your name on the episode when we watched your movie. Anyways, yeah, we watched a Serbian film this week. It was truly a wondrous time. Nico and or Tanner, which one of you guys wants to describe?
What do you mean?
Movie?
We have picks this week for us to describe.
Oh, for some reason I thought I was the one that picked fucking Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and I couldn't remember who picked Snow White. Anyways, yeah, no, fucking, I guess I'll describe a Serbian film for us here.
Good luck.
Okay. Yeah, no, we've got a retired porn actor who gets invited to, take part. I'm struggling to find the words for this movie because I don't want to talk about it. But we're struggling to find. I'm feeling so fucking hard right now.
You're feeling so hard right now?
I'm fucking rock hard, baby.
I'd say just say fucked up shit happens and leave it at that, honestly.
No, there's more that happens to it, but basically, yeah, we got a retired porn actor. He gets invited to be part of like some artistic porn flick from he gets invited by like one of his old coworkers, basically. And, it's really fucked up. They keep having him do, like, increasingly weird things. Like, he gets, like, sucked off while he's watching some kid get beat or something. Up until the point where he doesn't want to be part of it anymore because it's fucking weird. They show him some weird-ass shit, and he's like, okay, you guys are total fucking psychopaths. I'm gonna completely disassociate from you guys. But, of course, they drugged him like crazy. And then he went on some, like, big tirade where he, like, cut off some person's head. He, like, raped his son, all that shit. And then we start seeing him come to the realization of him doing all this stuff. He's like, working his way backwards towards the events and kind of like remembering what's happening. And that all kind of ended up in him like killing the people that were putting him up to all of this stuff. Again, he did some horrible shit to his family. And they kind of all realize what's happening here. And then they end up fucking killing themselves all at the end. And then, of course, we're watching a movie, and they gotta tell us we're watching a movie, and because the guys that were part of all of this film, I guess, finish the job by going and, like, I guess raping their dead bodies or something at the end. This movie's fucking weird. It's like, I think the point of
Jackson.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, the haiku!
No. Oh god.
I'm just kidding, guys. This movie doesn't deserve a haiku from me. I hate Serbia.
Let's fucking go. I'm assuming the point of this film, if there even is a point of this film, is supposed to kind of just be a... Maybe, but I think it's kind of just a commentary on, like, what viewers are watching as well. Because it kind of... Well, obviously, it feels like the people that were like, you know, filming this artistic porno are kind of talking to the audience in a lot of ways. It's like, you guys are watching this, you're watching all of this stuff happen with the main character who's just as disgusted as you, and then they even, like, kind of acknowledge that at the end with them doing just even more fucked up shit to them after the main characters are dead. Like, we have no interaction with, like, this film anymore, but they're still, like, doing stuff with it. And I'm assuming that's kind of what they're going for, maybe. I'm sure there's plenty of ways that you can interpret this film, but also it is so fucking heavy-handed with it, and it really just falls apart in the second half with it just, like, you're just watching fucked up shit happen to watch fucked up shit happen, and they don't really know how to, like, properly, you know, show you the series of events. I feel like I'm probably trying to dig too deep into this movie. Dylan and Tanner are both giving me the vibes of, like, what the fuck you talking about? This shit's just fucked up, shut up.
No. That's not how I do disagree with you, and, like, it's not that... I think ultimately there isn't a point to this movie, and they essentially, like, bait and switch us into thinking there is a point. Like, when they're setting it up before all the really crazy shit starts happening, I could see it being a story about, like how porn can kind of scramble your brain, and it leads you to, like, seek out more, you know, novel stuff, and that can lead you to a dark place. I think they kind of abandon that and just go into fucked up for fucked up sake as soon as they drug him. Like, once they remove his free will, then it's like, okay, there is no point to this, and you are just trying to show us fucked up shit for no reason.
Yeah, I feel like any sort of, like, real meaning that you could pull from this film is sort of just, like, you know, it's just like a little window dressing on it, you know, to try and, like, hide the fact that, oh yeah, the director for this film just wanted to make a really fucked up movie to, like, say fuck you to the, like, ratings board or whatever, and just kind of push the envelope for, like, what's possible, which, you know... Sure, if you really want to push the envelope, go for it, but at the same time, like, it doesn't make for a good movie.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, a lot of the shit in here, it's like, I don't even know how really disturbing a lot of it is, because for the most part, it just feels like really try-hard, you know, where it's like, how fucked up would it be if we cut off this woman's head and he had to keep fucking her? Wouldn't that be just, what if he fucked an infant as soon as it was born?
Yeah, and that's one thing I was saying. I don't know if you guys still disagree with me on this point. I found cuties more disturbing just because, at least with the fucked up shit happening in this movie, it's very, very easy for me to go, oh, well, okay, this is fake. This is like props and fake blood and whatever. Like, I don't for a second believe they are actually doing any of this. Whereas with cuties, that's disturbing content. That's less disturbing technically than what is happening in a Serbian film, but it's all, there's no trickery, there's no body doubles, it's just you're actually watching, like, prepubescent girls twerk on camera. Yeah. And so to me, that's more disturbing, because I'm like, well, I'm just actually sitting here watching this actually happen.
Dylan, you've been pretty quiet throughout this whole thing. How'd you feel about a Serbian film?
I'm quiet because it reflects what I have to say about this movie and my feelings towards it. Lavasket, I don't know who you are, but I hope you're rotting down in a pit for the choices you've made this week, and you have slighted all of us that day. Yeah, no, I think, I don't... your whole cuties thing, like, I think they're both bad, but I think they branch off. Because, like, I conceptualize these two movies as bad, but they're bad in different ways. I can see your justification for, like, cuties, where, like, there's no smoke and mirrors, that's just, yeah, you just see little girls doing this, you're like, that's not okay. So, I don't think either of them are safe from which is worse. What sucks is that this movie isn't even poorly made.
Well, actually, I don't think it's, like, you know, it's not, like... an absolute dumpster fire in terms of its production, but I don't think it's a particularly, like, amazing movie in, like, any of those regards either is a thing, though, because, like, fucking... A big thing for me about this movie is that it's weirdly like completely desolate of human life. Like, you know, when they're like out, like actually like in the world itself or whatever, like fucking, he's at like the restaurant, he's like driving down the street or whatever. There's just absolutely nobody else around. It's only the actual characters who are ever present, and it gives it a really kind of like uncanny feeling, I guess. Which, who knows? Maybe that was intentional. I'm assuming it probably wasn't, but
maybe that's how Serbia is.
Yeah, everyone fucking died in the wars.
There's like 8 people in the whole fucking country.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's a justification, but I think to be fair, if you were filming this movie, I wouldn't want anybody around for it either.
True.
So,
also, like, when he was watching the fucking tapes of, like, what happened while he was, like, blacked out or whatever, like, why did he keep watching them when he was seeing the terrible things that were happening?
It's because he wanted the audience to see it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that was literally just a plot device. I don't think there was any other reason for it.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I was going into when I said it starts falling apart in the second half, and it's just showing us fucked up shit to show us fucked up shit. Like, there's no plot reason that we should be seeing any of this. Any normal person would have looked at it for half a second and what the fuck, and closed it, and that would have been it.
Yeah. I am truly unfazed by anything that happens from this point on in my life. I don't think my life could... I don't think I could possibly witness anything worse than what I witnessed this last week.
We'll find something worse.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dylan, you might want to be careful with your words there.
That was not issuing a challenge. That was a plea of mercy for my mental sanity.
I'm begging you.
Please.
We still gotta watch, like, Faces of Death, Dylan.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, there's plenty of stuff we can check out, dude. Don't you worry. Get ready for Tanner's morally reprehensible march.
Oh. Fuck, dude. Alright, anyway, back to the ratings. We were gonna rank this thing?
Yeah, I think it's ranking time here. Dylan, what are you giving it?
F-, easy, fucked up minus, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
also
like,
giving it an F-.
Yeah, I'm sure Jackson's gonna be like, look, guys, it still has some merit here, alright? He's gonna give it like a B or something. But I'm also very comfortable with giving this an F-. In the past, Tanner's questioned why I haven't given some an F- yet. It's for these types of films. It's for the exploitation bullshit, where like there's really just no point in it other than being like, hey, look at the depths of depravity humanity can sink to.
Anyway, Jackson?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys might think I'm going to try to take some intellectual bullshit route with you, but no, I'm pretty with you on this one. I'm also giving it F-. Mostly just because this movie does have a few things going for it. I think the idea from it at the start is kind of interesting, and I think also looking at it from my point of view, where it's kind of maybe supposed to be like a self-reflection thing with the audience of like, why the fuck are you watching this fucked up shit happening? Tanner's giving me the no, but I think it's a maybe interesting point of view. At least I think it's interesting, which is why I'm bringing it up. But also, it really doesn't it really doesn't justify any of the things it's showing, especially because a lot of it just doesn't have much reason behind it. Like, they're just showing us fucked up shit. It's like, oh yeah, this is horrible, this is disgusting and depraved, you're gonna watch it, and that's just it. There's really not a lot of point to it.
Yeah, like, for example, like the baby fucking scene.
Yeah, like, that lasted for a really long time. Anybody would have seen what's happening and be like, okay, I'm out of here, you're fucking weird, later, loser.
And also narratively, what's the purpose of them doing that? Like, to show he's even more crazy than we already thought he was?
Right, yeah. And, like, Jax, your point about, like, maybe it's, like, commentary on, like, oh, why is the audience... So, like, a funny games thing. But, like, this is so much less clever and worse done, and also doesn't stick with that motive.
True. I mean, also, to justify the baby fucking scene here, too, I am assuming...
No, you cannot start that sentence that way. Start over. Don't justify the scene. Just say about the baby scene.
To justify the guy showing the weird, creepy, disgusting thing in the office.
Oh, okay.
The dude was already drugged, right? Where he drugged him with the whiskey they were drinking there. And I'm assuming the whole point of all of this film they're making is that they're trying to get this guy to snap. They're trying to get this guy to want to do something horrible. Because the whole point of it was kind of, or at least grabbing from what the ending of the movie was, where they all kill themselves and the guys go and fucking... start recording that and, like, fucking their dead bodies or something. It looks like it's all just him playing into what they had planned from the start. Is they wanted him to see some fucked up shit, react this way, and then go psychopath. Like, the guys were totally chill with dying in the end, after, like, the main guy that we had seen. It seems like this is all just, like, a total setup from the start. Like, everything that happened was because they wanted it to happen. Not necessarily saying that was done in a good way, but that's what it was. And I think that him showing him that fucked up shit was really just trying to put in the main character's mind that, oh yeah, we're fucking horrible, we're fucked up, we want you to do something horrible to us. And he did, and it all worked out in the end for the guys who are making the film, I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty clever, that one part where like the main character rammed his penis through a guy's skull to kill him.
Yeah, anyways, to win an F-, unsurprisingly.
Fantastic.
Crazy.
We finally have the full fucking tier list filled up.
That's right.
Yeah,
it'll be a gold border too, or whatever. Can you make it like a different? Can you give it like that one a different color? Is that possible?
Can you make it look all rotted?
There we go.
No.
Can you make a ghost randomly appear out of the
guys,
thumbnail?
I'm struggling to make the fucking text for an invalid rank be like gray right now. You guys are doing some stuff out of my scope currently.
Can you make a jump scare pop up when people click on that movie?
Yeah, it's like a Vine boom sound effect when you click on it. No. I won't do any of these things.
Alright, fine.
So yeah, F-, there we go. What's the next movie we're talking about, Jackson?
Alright, let's talk about a much nicer film, being Tanner's pick this week, which was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The 1937 film. I can't speak today. I haven't done any talking prior to this podcast. My vocal cords aren't warmed up,
Okay. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is the tale of Snow White. Fuck it. Everyone knows the story.
We have to explain it, Tanner.
It's the evil queen, and she doesn't like how hot Snow White is, so she tries to kill her, and Snow White goes in the woods, and she finds some dwarves. They fuck around for a while. The Wicked Witch kills her, and then just kind of dies. And then a prince kisses her, and, it's happily ever after. It's a very straightforward story.
How about you have your haiku?
Yeah, I do. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the baddest of them all? She's a kid.
Huh.
Dylan, if you had to guess, how old do you think Snow White is?
Like, how old was she? Like, 14, 12?
Yeah, that's actually correct. I think
Something
she's
like
14.
Yeah. So the magic mirror is a pedophile, is what I'm getting at here.
Or maybe there are the only two women in this land.
I believe Snow White is in fact the youngest Disney princess on record.
I'm pretty sure she is, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, guys, this is the Disney princess movie of all time. This is where all Disney princess movies originate from, and it clearly shows based on everything we have today. I don't know. I like the hand-drawn animation style. The stuff they used to do a long time ago, where they would animate frame by frame, everything flowed nicely. Kind of just I like the art style was pretty good. Like I said, I like the hand-drawn stuff. The voice acting, what are you gonna do? Old-timey stuff. They were still working on that kind of stuff. Movie was short, sweet.
It wasn't short and sweet, though, Dylan. It was so much longer than it needed to be. This should have been like a 40-minute movie.
Listen, dude, they were pushing the boundaries of shows back then. This was, like, extremely long by their standards back in the 1930s.
Yeah, and it's extremely long by our standards.
It's not that,
even
dude.
Feel that long.
Dude, we've watched three. We watched Cleopatra, dude. That is, I compare everything to that at this point. I'm like, at least it's not a 4-hour movie.
There's so much fucking padding in this film. Like, I get it, okay, this is the first theatrically released animated film. Looks great,
Yes.
Animation is stellar, I love it. Big props to old Walt Disney there. But at the same time, like, they really want you to make sure that you see all the neat stuff they're able to do with animation. And it's like, yeah, I guess it's cool, but at the same time, like, this movie's so fucking slow. I don't care about all of this shit. I don't need to see the little birds dry the clothes, okay? I don't need to see the turtle get his belly rubbed, alright? This isn't necessary at all. I don't need a 10-minute scene of the dwarves washing their hands.
Yeah, I definitely, whenever I try to put myself in the era of which this movie was released, so all of these modern, if you can call them that, modern concerns that you're expressing right now are completely over my head in this
modern
instance.
ideas like good pacing in a film.
Nico, this movie came out like 83 years ago.
Sucks to suck, nerd. Maybe you should have made your movie better.
That's truly unfortunate that you think that way. Anyway, Tanner, Jackson, you guys have anything in particular to say about this movie?
I think the start is kind of cute. I like the scene of her running through the forest and getting all scared because she doesn't know what's going on and she's like making things up in her head. And I think the rest of it is really fucking boring. I think the second the dwarves come around, it turns really dog shit and really fucking boring. And I did not like this film at all.
Oh, I thought the opposite. I thought when the dwarves showed up, it got better.
Oh yeah, I love their silly hijinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were Jackson and I's least liked Disney film when we went through all of them.
Somehow that makes sense based on it makes sense based on what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah. I think the art and animation still holds up. The story isn't anything to write home about, but I think it has a simple charm, you know? And personally, I like the music in this movie.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
wholeheartedly
decent.
agree with Tanner.
To be clear, actually, I like the songs. The music itself, I'm kind of whatever on.
I will say, I do like this era of, like, movies and stuff where they make the orchestral match the visuals, like, where basically the instruments can tell the story when there's no words happening. That just has to do a lot with my background, but I do particularly enjoy that. I think it adds some class and some charm to these movies that we don't really have, because you kind of just reuse like music that artists have already created to inject into your movie because it just fits somehow. But then at that point you kind of lose the movie, because then the movie's trying to adhere to what the song is instead of what the movie actually wants to be.
I agree with that, and for those of you who don't know, what Dylan means by his background is he used to be an animated character.
100%. I wanted to be a real boy. Anyway,
that's all my thoughts on the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really isn't a whole ton to say about this film. It's kind
It's
of
a
just
very
a lot
simple
of,
movie. It's from a simpler
you're
era.
just kind of watching things happen with no major through line other than, oh, you got the witch trying to fucking kill her.
Just like Jackson's about to kill this ranking. Jackson, what are you ranking it?
Okay, so yeah, obviously this is my lowest rated Disney movie, and I'm just going to go ahead and preface the fact that this movie's really fucking boring, but also I'm giving it some slack because of, you know, it being a movie from the fucking 30s and being the first animated film ever. I think this is kind of, it feels like you're watching more of a tech demo rather than an actual movie.
It's kind of what it was.
But obviously there is some sort of plot, so I can give it credit for that. I'm giving this movie a D+.
Damn.
I'm not gonna be giving any slack, though. Fuck this movie, it's a D.
Damn.
I'm gonna give it a B.
Bam! Yeah, I didn't mind this movie. I thought it was pretty cute. I gave it a B+.
And that puts it at a C+.
I'm starting to sense some similarities with how we all rank movies. Me and Tanner don't always agree, but when we agree, boy howdy are we close.
But boy howdy is it on movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nico, this is just for you here. But also, Nico and I watched all of the Disney movies ever, and I said I didn't like basically all of them. And that's not me saying that I think all of them are like bad movies. I mean, some of them definitely are, and probably some of them will rank lower than Snow White in this tier list.
Yeah, like Finding Nemo.
Aw.
Because that list was primarily for entertainment value. I think most Disney movies are completely average mid movies, and most of them are landed C tier for me. Anyways, let's go on to our final movie of the week. This one is actually entertaining to talk about. There's some substance here to, you know, consult each other on.
You can sink your teeth into it a little bit.
Yeah, we've got Nico's pick of the week, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the 2017 film, which he'll describe now.
Yeah, so Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This one was about the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're hanging out with some gold people, and they end up stealing their batteries, and because of that, those gold people ain't too happy about it. So they chase them down and get shot down onto a little planet, whereas Star-Lord, our main character, he meets his father. His father comes in, he's a god, it turns out. He's actually a living planet, and they go to that said planet, where Star-Lord finds out, whoa, I'm also a god? That's crazy! Holy smokes! And yeah, after that, they kind of, you know, they just kind of meander around the planet for a little bit, and they realize, oh, hang on a second here. This planet guy ain't so good. Hang on, I don't like this dad. I want my other space dad more. And so space dad comes in, good old Yondu, and together they murder his father and commit regicide. And then, you know, Yondu also dies, and they have a nice little funeral for him. So Tanner, what's this bullshit-ass haiku you have for the film?
My haiku as inspired by Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Pratt's daddy issues. Gamora's sister issue. You two please just fuck.
Huh. That's an interest. Out of everything you could have pulled from this movie, it was It was an interesting take.
Dude,
I mean, yeah, who wants to kick this off?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I just want to say right off the bat here, I'm normally not a big fan of, like, the cute little mascot characters, but boy howdy, do I like Baby Groot. Baby Groot's a real cute little guy, he's pretty funny, you know? Like, I'll get, like, 20 Baby Groot Funko Pops to align my desk with, why not? I like the guy a lot, you know? He adds a lot of charm to the film.
I also feel like that comes from the fact that he's not super overbearing like a lot of these other movies really try to push. I feel like
I disagree, but
I don't think he's very. I mean, he's hard. He's like
in
half
it
the
a
film's
lot.
plot. Yeah, but this, I don't know.
They
I feel
focus
like
on him quite often. In fact,
'cause he's
I don't think
small.
it's a problem, but I think like he is very much present.
I definitely think it's a problem.
I think he's a lovable character, so I think it excuses him.
I enjoy him, especially since it adds some extra depth to Rocket's character as well, where he gets to become like much more this father figure to Groot.
Personally, I'm a bigger fan of the bug mascot.
Yeah.
Scott, what the hell are you talking about?
It's talking about Mantis. Real quick,
Oh.
guys, I just want to get a sense up front from you. Is this one better than the first Guardians of the Galaxy?
Well, it's tough to say, Tanner, because in some respects I would say yes, because I feel as though this film does do a much better job of fleshing out the characters a lot more and delving into, like, you know, their storied histories and stuff like that. We get a lot more depth with them. We get to see, like, how pretty much all these characters have, like, these very dark aspects to their past that, you know, didn't really get a lot of focus in the previous film. But on the other hand, you know, because of that, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie is a lot more fun, I would say.
Yeah.
It's
which
a lot
helps.
more bombastic.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It's a little tough. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna be ranking it higher or lower. I might actually. I'll save that for later. But yeah, you know, I feel like they're on pretty even grounds here.
I think, like, the major advantage that this one has over the first one is that now the group dynamic is established. And so these characters are able to play off of each other in a much smoother way, I'd say. Like, in the first one, there were... And it was necessary, where you kind of had to have characters reacting to each other's little quirks, where they're like, hey, it's kind of weird that you do that, you know? And in this movie, we don't have to have any of those moments. We can just have the characters be like, okay, we all get what each other's deals are, and so we can play off of each other much more consistently now.
It's like, you know, there's charm to both of those sorts of things.
And to me, it also means that we're, like Nico mentioned, we're able to have much, I'd say, significantly stronger emotional beats in this one than the first one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Pretty much every character, we get, like, more detail on, like, their background and stuff like that. The only one who we really don't get that from is Drax. But, like, even then, we do still get that scene of, like, him with Mantis, where, like, you know, she, like, puts his hand on him, and we see, like, how fucking emotional and, like, awful shit is for him. But at the same time, like, you know, he's just been dealing with this shit for so long that he's just sitting there, just stone-faced, just soaking it all in.
Like a man.
Exactly.
It's a great scene, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like basically every character in this movie has like an emotional scene where they slow things down and turn on the, you know, the sad music. I think that happens for like literally every main character, which
Except
is not
for
a bad
Groot.
thing. Yeah, fuck that little guy though. I want to punt him.
Aw.
I'm like the fucking pirates curb stomping him.
I do slightly prefer the music in the first movie, although the main song they go with in this one is a banger, so...
Yeah. And it's, like, so thematically relevant, you know?
Holy shit, it's almost like it was intentional.
I kind of wish that they didn't spoon feed it to you so much, like how relevant it is to, like, you know, fucking Ego's backstory, but...
Well, not everybody can get that in depth with movies, Nico, so you need to understand that. Like me.
Bummer.
No,
Guys.
it's fine. I got it from the first time I watched this movie. What's up, Jackson?
Observation here. So when I first watched this movie, I remembered, obviously this was a while ago when I first watched it.
Yeah.
But I remembered thinking that Ego was like just super hard on like, okay, yeah, Chris, whatever the fuck his name is, I can't actually remember, Star-Lord, he's just planning on using him as a battery. There is no ulterior motive, which I think is probably still the case. But in the second rewatching here, it definitely seems more like there actually might be something to Chris more than Ego just wanted him to use him as a battery. Am I right about that, or is it literally all just like a manipulation tactic?
No, I think he definitely initially planned that they'd actually like do the plan together, and he thought he could sufficiently brainwash / convince Star-Lord to help him.
Yeah, that's definitely what I got from it too.
I also had maybe I need a little explanation on this front. I also just have a hard time grasping Ego's motivation to, because like he stated like, oh, there must be other life out in the universe, unless this was also just a made up story and this was his intention was to take over the universe all along.
I think it was mostly just a means to get Chris sympathetic towards him. Why do you keep fucking calling him Chris? To mean to get Star-Lord sympathetic towards him.
I mean, he spelled it out at the end after he, like, first was taking over Star-Lord's powers. Like, he went, I found life and it was disappointing, so now I want to be the only life. Like, he literally said that shit.
For some reason, you started explaining that, my brain made the connection. I don't know why I forgot that. Never mind.
It would also be hard to relate to a person that's lived for millions of years and, like, isn't anything even, like, conceptually close to us at all.
Yeah, right. And I guess this is a personal issue. I 100% don't expect you guys to hold anything to this.
You didn't like the Yondu was hanging out with a prostitute at the beginning of the film.
I didn't care about... No, actually, my first time watching this movie, when he died at the end, I did tear up a little bit.
So did I. I didn't this time around, but I was right there with you, dude.
But I think, because like we were saying, this is like definitely the movie where if there was a character in this film, they got fleshed out. Like, they got a little bit more explained about them, because they quote-unquote earned their right to, get explained or whatever. And I have my reasons for thinking that. But I also discovered that when a character goes through way too much character development way too quickly, it triggers like a timer in my head for like when this character's gonna die. And I attribute that to Yondu, unfortunately, because they did a hell of a lot of... After him not being a major character in the first movie, really, to him all of a sudden being almost every aspect of the second movie. Anyways, that's aside from my point. My only, like, personal issue is, like, they gave Chris... God damn it, Jackson! They gave Star-Lord... They gave Star-Lord the god powers or whatever, because everybody... The whole first movie is like, oh, we don't know who my dad is. Oh, at the end of the movie, we've never seen this DNA. It's not in our files. And then they're expounding on it in the second movie, like, oh, I don't know who my dad is, and the gold people are like, oh, it's unorthodox, the what you are. And then they finally reveal it at mid to halfway, to the end of the movie. And then, like, they come to the logic, like, his dad dies and he loses all of his power. Like, and I'm like, you just gave this power so much character development and then ripped it all away. Like, I don't know. To me, it doesn't make any sense. I also just like when people have some kind of significant powers or something. But, like I said, that's a personal gripe.
I imagine in the third film, he'll probably still be able to do something wacky by being half celestial.
I feel like he probably won't, and I don't...
It's not spoiling because it never actually comes up.
Which I'm totally fine with. I don't really care about it either way.
Of course you don't. I'm the only one who cares.
So, Jackson, thoughts on this film? Thoughts, in-depth analysis of Mantis's character? How hot was she?
I think Mantis is cute. I think she's fun. It's hard for me to understand why Ego would need something to help put him to sleep.
His brain is too big, dude.
Yeah. Or like how a little fucking bug girl is able to do that. Because I think my biggest gripe maybe with this movie is just like inconsistencies with Ego and his powers. It just, I don't know. Him being what he is and being so easily defeated was a little shocking, I think.
To be fair, they did have their own Celestial.
True. I'm also not a huge fan of Chris, like, coming to his powers so incredibly quickly. Obviously, I'm just taking fucking whatever Ego's word was with him saying, oh yeah, it might take you a few million years or something to be able to do anything cool, and you can, like, barely make a ball, and then suddenly he's a fucking go with it that can literally fight a Celestial that's been alive for millions of years on level ground. That was a little weird.
It's called superhero convenience.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not a fan of it. But
it's also why I'm pissed they took it away!
Yeah, also just, like, the concept of, again, this is just me not really understanding maybe how Celestials work from a baseline standpoint. Maybe the movie should have done a better job fleshing that out. But why the fuck is he even sitting in this, like, human body at all if he's so vulnerable to this type of shit? Like, he had, like, the thing where he was, like, a big face on the wall or something. Why would he go back to being, like, a human? Is it all just him trying to still empathize with Star-Lord to get him on his side or something? Because obviously that's fucking well and gone. I don't know why he would ever make himself at such a disadvantage. Like, he's the whole fucking planet. I feel like this should have been a cakewalk for him, and he fumbled so easily.
I imagine it's like, how picking up an ant by a specific leg would be kind of difficult for us at our size.
What's that matter that you can just fucking crush it?
Yeah, I know, but maybe he wants to be a bit more,
Why would he want to do that? He doesn't give a shit about anybody but Star-Lord, and all he has to do with Star-Lord is just fucking,
Yeah,
well, I guess technically I see your metaphor, because I don't think he wants to kill Star-Lord because he wouldn't be able to harvest the celestial powers.
Right.
I mean, I see your point though, Jackson. It's kind of it's like a video game thing. You know that if you go to a boss fight, the boss could probably easily do their final phase shit immediately and kill you, but that wouldn't make for a very entertaining end, now would it?
I like the gold people though. I think they're fun characters. I like how they're fucking spaceship fighter things, or they're just like an arcade machine. That's pretty cool.
I almost said a spoiler for the next movie.
Don't you dare, you son of a bitch.
I thought about it, but I'm not gonna do it again.
I like the way they did like the multi-plot lines with like the different events of things going on and kind of like bouncing around between the different, kind of things that are happening simultaneously. Like, you got fucking Chris and whatever her name is on the fucking planet, and then you got Rocket on the ship doing his stuff with the scavengers. I like the way they're doing that. I think they handled it well. I think the pacing of this movie generally is pretty solid.
Yeah.
But that's what you kind of expect from like a $100 million budget fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Yeah, so it really shouldn't even be a point in it as a positive for them, Like, that should just be expected at the end of the day.
It should be a negative, if anything.
Yeah. It should have been stellar. Well, boys, at the end of the day, though, Dylan. Yeah. Dude, what are you ranking this here movie?
I was originally going to rank this slightly lower than the first movie, but you guys have convinced me. I'm also just going to put it on the same level as Guardians of the Galaxy and make it S.
Whoa.
That's insane. Tanner, what about you, dude?
Fuck. I need to think more. Someone else go.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking pretty along the same lines as Dylan here. I think I'll just be throwing on the same tier as the first one. I'm going A+ for it. Actually, on second thought, I'm going to put it a little bit lower. I'm going to put an A tier.
Nico, you're thinking the exact same as me. Yeah, I put it a little bit lower. I think the first movie, I liked the introduction to all the characters, and I think it had more interesting settings and stuff that were going on. It had a lot more fun things, like a lot more just like general well done scenes. Like, I think the Prison Break scene was really fun and well done. Plenty of things like that. Where the second movie was a lot more close in like its scope. Which isn't a bad thing necessarily, but I definitely think it's a little weaker, especially because I'm not a huge fan of like the ego and consistency things at the end, and figuring that's like half the movie's substance. It definitely weakens it a little bit for me. But I still think it's a really good movie.
So where are you putting it?
A. Sorry.
Okay.
Jackson, that's not lower than your ranking.
My first movie's ranking was A+, I thought.
No, nope. You rank the first one at an A.
Well, I'm just gonna give this one A too then, because I think it's on the same level as the movie.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I like this one much more than the first. No, maybe not much, but I think it's better, and it stands out to me much more. I can vaguely conjure up what happens in the first one. This one I remember much better. So it's either at the same tier or one tier higher for me. I think I'm gonna go same tier and say A+.
And that puts it at an A+.
Nice. Rather respectable ranking for the second film in the best sci-fi trilogy of all time.
Whoa.
Is it that?
No.
I don't know.
I mean, what else would be?
I don't know.
Star Trek.
No. God.
Doctor Who.
The original Star Wars trilogy.
What? With episode 6 and all, Tanner?
You're fucking capping, dude. What the fuck?
We'll be deciding that later for Star Wars September. Alrighty, boys. And with that said, it's another week in the bag.
Yeah.
Jackson and Dylan, what are you guys going to be ranking here? Not ranking, picking.
Whoa.
Dylan, pick a movie.
Okay, rolling the number generator. Let's go.
Literally any movie, but just pick one.
Yeah, I know. That takes... Alright, we're number 205.
Pick Star Trek or something.
I'm not going to do that. I don't like Star Trek.
Pick a goofy movie.
205. Yeah. Alright, so that's unfortunately a sequel, so I'll go with the first movie, All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Whoa.
What the fuck is that?
It's a movie about dogs going to heaven, Jackson.
Yeah,
they
find
All
Christ.
Dogs Go to Heaven.
I'm looking this up now. I've never heard this before.
You've never heard of this one?
I feel like I watched this all the time when I was a kid.
I've never heard of this, and I'm looking up pictures, and I've never even seen it.
Dude, it's consistently on television all the time.
He doesn't have a television.
I don't watch television.
I'm not even talking about now. Anyway.
What year is All Dogs Go to Heaven? Even like 2007?
It's 89.
I was about to say it's much older than that, Tanner.
Holy
it's
shit.
very old, dude.
I was probably just thinking of what year I would have seen it.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Anyways, I'm going to pick an actual good movie, hopefully, this week.
Hey, fuck you, Jackson.
I saw the reviews for that movie. I know what I'm saying.
I don't give a shit. Watch the movie first.
Anyways, I'm going to be doing the same thing I did last time I picked a movie. I'm just going to pick the sequel to Nico's pick because I want to watch the fucking third Guardians of the Galaxy. I wanted to watch it literally when it first came out. Like I had that shit downloaded on my computer literally like a week after it came out, I'm pretty sure, and I wanted to watch it since then, but I just have been holding myself off for this moment. And now I think it's valid finally to watch it. Hopefully it's good. All I know about it is that there's a Vocaloid part, and that's it.
They meet Hatsune Miku.
They're in a house, and there's Vocaloid playing in like the house. That's all I know.
And as for our Patreon movie for this week, Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Let's roll the old Patreon.
All right, Dread Pirate, what are we watching this week?
Oh, we're watching the 2021 film All My Friends Hate Me, as requested by Tutbot. Thank you, Tutbot.
Check that out.
Requesting that movie.
Whoa.
That's pretty sweet.
All My Friends Hate Me 2021. We got two recent movies this week.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Could be a pretty good time. And if you too would like to recommend a movie, just like our illustrious patron there, Tutbot, did, then Dylan will tell you all about how you can do that.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell you what you guys get. All right, so listen. For just $1 a month, you get access to our pre-guap, our pre-show before we even start this podcasting. Isn't that crazy? You guys would have never guessed. It also gets you early access to our episodes, you know, when they get posted. You get also access to our Discord where you could talk to Tanner and talk to him about politics or whatever bullshit he wants to talk about. You also get to request movies and use the slime bot that Jackson's so effortlessly slaved over. In addition to that, you get 500 slime coins. That amount hasn't changed, right, Jackson?
No.
It's 5,000 now.
Yeah, one-time bonus offer, 5,000 slime coins. You also get to request movies and topics, just like Tutbot did, in addition to having your name read out at the end of each episode, just like Nedagant, Raheem Rajwani, Kyler Nikolai, Oh My Goinky Sloinky, Top Ramen Man, Joshua Bean, Dylan, I've kidnapped your family. If you ever want to see them alive again, you'll need to rank No Country for Old Men higher. Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Thank you all so much for contributing to the cause.
It's Oh My Goinky Sploinky, you son of a bitch. We'll be seeing you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.